What's up, everybody? We're back with another stage breakdown. So this would be stage. This is stage 6 from Battle at the Beach. It's called Spock's Glocks, and the start was gun on table loaded. This was a rather simple, straightforward stage. It wasn't too hard, but I'll watch it and then we'll break it down as usual.
Ah, see one short. Here, cover down.
So let me get the hit factors for you guys. Those, I should overlay them on the screen, but there's really no place to put them without obscuring the view. So it's called Spock's Clocks. I shot 80.69% on it. I had 20 alphas, 7 charlies, time of 22.88, hit factor 5.28. Giancarlo shot 78.8%, 24 alphas, 3 charlies, time was 24.26, hit factor was 5.3. Mark shot 62.92%, which I think this was Mark's best stage. Yeah, this is Mark's best stage. This is Giancarlo's best stage. Let me double check that. Yeah, this is Giancarlo's best stage. And this was my second best stage, as stage 8 was my best stage, and we will watch that as well. Not right now, but 62.92%. Mark did awesome. He had no deltas. I don't think any of us, none of us shot deltas. He was just super slow. So a time of 31.06 is, you're not holing, you're not doing anything. So let's review the stage, and I will we'll go through it. So right off the bat, you see this video was a little sped up, probably by like a quarter second. So although it looks like Mark got to his gun faster, it's because the video is already starting with him holding his gun. And even then, I think I get my shot off first before he does. So as you see right off the bat, we all picked this target right here. And that's because if you sidestepped the stage, which we all did to engage this target right here, we wouldn't have been able to see this target behind the barrels. So we all had to take this target and then the paper next to it, which also had a no shoot on it. So, we all moved over, we all sidestepped. A big thing is during your stage plan is, make sure you understand where all the targets are. G did miss a significant amount of targets just from mental lapses, but just understand when you're going through your stage plan to make sure that you know where all the targets are. And now that I'm watching other people shoot stages and I'm watching other people build stages, I will say the stages at LIPSA are not the best. I will say they have a lot of momentum killers on their stages. I don't know why they do that. I think it's to keep the younger guys from outpacing the older guys. I wish we had some nice stages where we can carry momentum through the stage, but there's always momentum killers, and there's really nothing you could do about that. And there was one on this stage, but there's really nothing you could do about it. I don't build the stages, I just shoot them. So right off the bat, we all engage this hardcover tux. Relatively, me and Giancarlo, we just predict. We didn't over confirm our dot on this. Mark did. Mark was over confirming all day. To be honest with you, he needs to work on that. So right off the bat, you see I'm just hauling ass as usual. My dry fire and my live fire routine is me trying to not over confirm my dot nearly as much anymore, and just being confident with my shooting abilities and understanding my gun. I had to take a step back from trying to go really, really fast and trying to be fast with my feet rather than just being fast with my gun. And shooting sooner rather than faster is something that has really marinated with me. So as you could see, did not shoot the mic. I didn't have a mic, so those were on. Giancarlo was a little more precautious with it. I understand I'm shooting an open gun. He's limited optics. He's carry optics. So I get it that they're not comp guns, but still, you should be able to, put two on paper without having to unconfirm your dot on the hardcover mic or hardcover in general. So right off the bat, even Giancarlo was slower to transition to the no shoot than Mark was. And I'm already shooting steel at this point, so I'm already hauling ass. We're making time. So, like I said, first two shots right over the top of the steel. As if you didn't watch the previous video, I did not zero my gun. My gun is zero for my ported barrel, not my 5.2-inch comped barrel. So the velocity change is significant. It goes from 1220 down to 1100, and that 120 feet per second difference makes a significant difference in ballistics, especially at range. My gun is zeroed at 15 yards, and that extra velocity is just going to carry the bullet over the top. It's not going to nearly drop nearly as much as 25 yards. And yes, 25 yards, your ballistics will be different, especially on 9mm. So my ported gun is 120 FPS slower. So my zero is not exactly there. That is zeroed at 20 yards, not 15 like this gun is. So like this ported barrel was. So I actually don't even change the zero because the barrels are both 1-in-16 twist, both made by Wilson Combat. The horizontal striations that you get, or windage that you get from shooting the same exact ammo, is just vertical striation. So it was just me having to hold over or hold under what I wanted to do. Especially at closer targets, I just had to hold ever so slightly below where I wanted to shoot. So at this distance, it's even, more enlarged, bigger picture over the top. So we'll continue on with the stage. So I'll go back and clean up the stage. Lost a little bit of time to G. She's now catching up. I go to slide lock reload because I missed two. Mark's engaging steel, just over confirming on steel as usual. So here's me not trying to break the 180 again because it's in my mind, in the back of my head. We're going to reloads. We all do the same thing. So we all reload to the fresh set sector right here. There's Mark. He does got his finger on the front of the magazine, but not where it's supposed to be. It's really, you really want to get your finger on 141mm on carry optics, limited optic magazines. You really want to get your finger around where the reload indentation is on your magazines, depending on where they are, give or take. You want it around there, so that way you can get your mag in pretty cleanly. Now let's see if Mark struggled to do that. So he was pretty good. He didn't really struggle to do that, and I didn't realize Mark didn't even move. He's still on sector 1 of targets. So this window target, or this target, was the momentum killer in this stage. Or you could probably say the window was. I'd probably say the window was. This word it wasn't momentum killer. The window was. So I'll come into the reload. Mark's making up pretty good time now. Mark made up a significant amount of time, right? So Mark made up time because he didn't have to reload his gun again. So he was already pre-aimed at the target. Now, Mark should have probably came in. He probably shouldn't have stepped in on the angle that he did because now he's having to lean over. He actually took an extra step over now. He probably should have stayed on the middle of the lane instead of staying on the close to the lane, because now the angle to shoot this window is going to be more steep. So Mark ran, made up time right here. He is now caught up pretty much to G. Let's see. Yeah, so he's about maybe a half a second behind G, and me and G were smoked him to sector 3 or sector 2, I should say.
See one short.
And then G picked up a lot of time. So because Mark opted not to reload into this sector and kept a fresh mag on these, I guess, these side targets along the berm, he ran dry on the last sector, which cost him a lot of time. Now, had Mark reloaded right here, Mark should have reloaded right here again. That way he can come in with a fresh mag. Or after this target like I did. But I think he reloaded after steel.
See one short. Here, cover down.
Oh no, Mark reloaded at the same exact spot time as I did. It was just a lot slower.
See one short.
So I did slow my shooting down ever so slightly right here because although this is a full-size target, it's partially exposed. And this is not a soft cover. This was a hard cover barrel, so I did not want to get I didn't want to pick up the mic on this, is what I didn't want to do. So I kind of, instead of taking the 2 Charlies, I took an Alpha and a Charlie. Don't really remember that. And I could have just not I overconfirmed my dot on this to make sure that I got the points and not the mic. But now that I go back and look at it, I definitely could have just squeezed 2 off and took the 2 Charlies, maybe got an Alpha. Not 100% sure. I just didn't want to shoot the barrel. That's what I didn't want to do. And I think G did the same thing. Yeah, so G did the same thing I did, and he kind of went more into a dot confirmation. You know, we didn't want to shoot the barrel. You shoot the barrel, you get a mic. These are not soft covers, so you touch the barrel, you get a mic. And you can see Mark pretty much overconfirmed his dot on every single target again. And his grip is just not there. Like every time this kid goes to reload, his grip is low, his grip is high. It doesn't dry fire. It's pretty fucking apparent in every single video that we have.
Here, cover down.
And you could also see, by the way, his gun recoils too. And you'll see the gun like snap this way when his grip is not, when he's not putting the proper input on his gun.
Here, cover down.
Like right there. Here's
Here, cover down.
Right there. So shot 1 on this target right here wasn't squeezing. He didn't have enough input on his gun.
Here, cover down.
And he's like, oh shit, now I gotta put more input on my gun, and made the shots. But he overconfirmed on that too, so that's fine. I mean, we all overconfirmed on the barrel, and you know, you don't want to shoot the barrel. It's not really something you want to do, especially on like a partial. But you know, I go back and look at it, and you know, I was able to squeeze off 2 rounds here with a I guess a tux, if you want to call them a tux, but a hardcover USPSA target, and I was able to bang 2 shots off there without overconfirming my dot. Mark also did have a 0 problem. I don't know if he fixed it by then. I know we added windage to his red dot ever so slight. I don't know if it was a stage though. I forgot. But we did add 6 clicks of windage to the right. So one interesting thing about this stage is what I should have done, and what we all should have done, was after the reload, engage this target as it became visible. And that's something none of us did, actually. That would require me to be a little faster on the reload. I actually probably could have done it right here, but because I already had to go over to the left I understand that I could have got away with this, shoot sooner, not faster. So I could have shot this as soon as my mags in my gun right now. And G could have probably shot that too. But we all went to the partial, and I probably should have shot this, then the partial. But you can play it both ways. You have to come into this corner anyway and shoot that, and then you're going to have to go to the window, so you're still going to have to get down the path. So I chose to engage it because I was closer. I watched other people do it because it became visible after the reload first. So you kind of got to pick and choose what you want to do here. And you got to understand that when you go to this window right here, you still got to go down this path right here that is established for us, or in the zone. So no matter what I'm doing, I still have to come over this way, and I still have to get to the window. So for me, I don't know how much time it would have knocked off if I engaged this first. Not too sure. It was in the same magazine, but we all went to the partial. I'm pretty sure Mark did too. So, like, the angle that you had to engage us to get the alphas was, just had to wait. You just had to wait to see the target visible. So, I mean, you could have played it both ways. That's part of stage planning. And I will say, if for a righty, I'm going to say this is probably easier to do than a lefty. Lefty is going to struggle here more so than a righty. But I don't know. That's when we get deep into stage planning and efficiency. G also took this steel target on the move, which was pretty impressive. So G decided to take this steel on the move. Didn't G engage this paper after that? Yeah, so G opted to shoot the steel rather than the paper, and then the paper to reload. Steel to reload paper. I think I shot paper reload steel, and I think Mark did the same exact thing. Yeah. So G took the alternative route. I mean, it still worked out. It still would have been fast and still engaging targets, but now he's got to put 2 on paper instead of the 1 on the steel like I did.
See, one short.
Yeah, so I mean, don't get me wrong. The stage was very simple and straightforward, and you even see that we even shot it differently. Like G shot it differently than me and Mark, and was still, how many seconds slower was G? 2 seconds. So was my stage plan better? No, I don't know. G shot 4 more alphas than I did, but I was 2 seconds faster. G also had a higher hit factor than me at 5.3. So his 4 alphas were better than my 7 Charlies, but my 2 seconds. So his 4 alphas with a 2 seconds of slower time holds more weight than my 2 seconds of time with 4 more Charlies. So he did yield a higher hit factor. I just shot out a higher percentage. He also shot 95% of the points. I shot 89%. But I shot 108 of the available points, whereas he shot 106 of the available points. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The percentage-wise, I shot higher because my time was better. I don't understand that. Maybe somebody could comment why I have a higher percentage but a lower hit factor by a 1/10. So if I would have slowed down by 1 second and picked up 2 more alphas, I probably would have had a higher hit factor. Let's find out. So yeah. So if I pick up 2 more alphas for a half a second a time, so literally my splits. If I pick up 2 more alphas, I shoot 85.83% overall. My hit factor goes to 5.6. So you could say if I slow down ever so slightly, I'm sorry. Let's go to 20. Even then, it's still higher. It's at 81.16%, and now we're tied with hit factor. So if I would just slow down a half a second to pick up 2 more alphas, I go up to 81.16%, and I go up to a 5.31 hit factor, and I shoot 109 points, 92% of the available. But then again, you could say, G, he should have went faster to pick up the overall percentage, but You know, this is USPSA, and this is part of the strategy game. I did shoot a 80.69%, which is mid-level A class. But you know, even G shot still 78%. Mark II, Mark shot B class on. And then our boy Brendan also did very well. 22 alphas, 5 Charlies with a time of 26.15. Had a hit factor of 4.7. So you could see that there is this stage is like a medium hit factor stage where the points matter more than the hits to an extent. Like my 2 seconds of overall faster time was still not faster than G's 24 alphas. So 4 more alphas. He traded 4 more alphas for 2 seconds of time and only yielded him a 10th higher hit factor, but a lower percentage overall. So you got to like pick and choose your battles, I suppose. But needless to say, if I just shot 2 more alphas on one of those targets or picked up 2 more alphas somewhere on the stage, it would have been significantly better. Even 3 more alphas. If I shot 3 more alphas, let's see. If I picked up 3 more alphas, I go up to 84.69%. I go up to a 5.5 hit factor. You know, one of these I could have just shot a little bit slower, I suppose. I don't know. I really don't like slowing down. It's not something I enjoy doing, but I'll take it. Even Mark. I give Mark, let's change Mark's time to 30. Let's say Mark did this in 26.50. Same hits. Mark goes up to 100%. 26.50. So Mark shaves off 4 or 5 seconds off his time, 5 seconds off his time. Mark would shoot a 73.75% just off of time alone. Crazy. That's just having your split times throughout the whole entire stage. That's all that is. That's not even running faster, moving faster. That's just having your split times. It's stuff like that. Like I said, guys, it's stuff like that that makes a difference on a stage. And I said this in the last video. I don't expect you, like, don't go into a stage with like 1.5 splits and like thinking that it's going to make a difference over 0.20 splits. Yeah, in the long run it will if you consistently shoot out a 1.5 split. But you could see that between me and G shooting faster than Mark on every single target yields you more time. It definitely is faster to do that. Like Mark is not much slower than us on his feet. And as a matter of fact, on some of the stages, he's faster to certain sectors because he gets his gun up sooner, so shoot sooner. But he tends to slow down because he just over confirming his dot and his splits are not nearly as fast. So a confidence thing in your shooting. I think on when we go to our next training day, like at the range, we're really all we're all gonna work on individual stuff, but I think I'm gonna push Mark to really work on not keeping his finger on the trigger again and work some not over confirming his dot on every single target, regardless of the distance. So, all right. So stage 6 is done. I will give you guys stage 7 at some point. Give me like 10 minutes to put together stage 7. But other than that, this stage was awesome. This is probably one of my favorite stages of the day. I shot the best. Not my best stage, but definitely a good stage. I think my best stage was 88%. Give me a little bit. We'll go up to stage 7.